So today I thought I'd make this little video to try and explain how I choose the bikes I choose when making videos. Now this has all come about from some recent comments that I've received, primarily frustrated that I chose the CB1000R to compare against the Sportster S. Now I know these comments are coming from a place of frustration. They personally wouldn't have chosen that bike, so they're frustrated that they saw it in the comparison, and I get that because when I'm watching other reviewers reviewing bikes, I also feel the same frustration. An example of that is if the reviewer I'm watching is riding the bike and after a while starts to talk about how comfortable the bike is, how it can flat foot, how good the ergonomics to reach to the bars are, etc., but then fails to tell me how tall he is. All that information is completely irrelevant if I don't know what your inside leg measurement is, or at least how tall you are. Assuming that if the bike fits you really well and is really comfortable for you, then it's going to be comfortable for everybody, that really frustrates me. And then the same reviewer will get to the end of the review and they haven't told me how comfortable the seat is, what the wind protection is like from the screen, is there any buffeting, etc. So those things really frustrate me, which is why I spend a lot of time in the comments and listen to what you guys have to say. I recently had a comment basically suggesting that I may have chosen the bikes I chose to make the Sportster S not look so good, and that is totally not true. When I read those comments, I don't sort of think, well, this person's just sort of cranky or coming from a bad place. It's just that the person's watched my video and is frustrated on what they saw and are just putting their frustrations down into words. So I thought it might be a good idea to explain to you my personal bike buying process. What do I do when I'm buying a bike? The first thing I do is if I find a bike I'm really interested in, as everybody does, I look at the price tag. Once I know the price, then I can say, okay, what else is in this price category or cheaper that I'm also interested in? An example of that is going back about 10 years ago, I was looking at the Harley Street Glide and I was quite interested in the bike and really liked it, and I think from memory it was around about $33,000, $32,000, somewhere around there, which was a lot of money at the time and is a lot of money today. This is Australian dollars, mind you. And I started to think, well, what else can I buy for that money before I go all in on the Harley? So I started looking around and I came across the BMW R1200 RT. And so naturally I'd test ridden the Harley. I went and test rode the BMW. They were both pretty comparatively priced back then, but when I saw what I was getting for my money with the BMW, on top of cruise control I was getting an electric screen, I was getting electronically adjustable, really well sorted suspension, I was getting a bike that rode really nicely on the road, handled really well, was comfortable, had all the luggage I needed, and was just a very nice place to be. Now looking at the Harley for the same money, I could see myself eventually wanting to replace the suspension, upgrade it to get a better ride out of the bike. I could see I'd probably want to put an exhaust system on it and maybe even a new seat. So on one hand I had a bike that was ready to go. I knew that if I bought it, all I'd have to do is ride it and service it. On the other hand, for the same sort of money, I had a really nice looking bike and a really cool bike. I would have found it fun to ride, but I knew I was going to be spending money after I bought the bike to try and turn it into something that was more suitable for me. So in the end I bought the BMW R1200 RT, and that's a process I've always used when buying a bike. And as a result I've owned sports bikes, I've owned adventure bikes, I've owned cruisers, naked bikes, and for that reason I like all the different styles of bikes. And so when someone sort of says you have to only compare cruisers to cruisers and sports bikes to sports bikes and nakeds to nakeds, etc., for me that doesn't make sense because that's not the way I buy bikes. I buy what I feel like riding at the time. So I'm sorry if this is turning into a little bit of a rant, but I just thought it was time that I sort of explain to you, especially for the people that are getting frustrated about why I'm choosing the bikes I'm choosing, explain my process and why they're seeing the videos they see. Now, do I change the way I make videos to suit a few people who get frustrated? No, definitely not. I'm going to keep making the videos that I want to make. Well, it's my channel. I've got to be true to myself. And this is the way I enjoy bikes, this is the way I ride bikes, and this is the way I buy bikes, and this is the way I compare bikes. Alright, I think I've covered everything I needed to cover. I thought this might be a good way to show some of the footage I've been recording while I've been riding, as well as get a few things off my chest and just let you guys know what I'm thinking. If you'd like to see more videos like this, there's plenty of other topics I can discuss. Another one that I'd like to discuss is beginner bikes. So if you'd like to see that, let me know and I'll make another little video like this one and do the same thing again. So that's it for this one. If you've made it this far, thanks heaps for watching this video today, and thanks again for all your support, guys. I really do appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see all of you again in the next one. Bye for now.